Hi, it's Rikki from Circus Arts Conservatory. Welcome back to CAC Connects. We hope we see you at our Circus Summer Camp. At camp, we often make a tie-dye t-shirt. So today, I'd like to teach you several different ties and how to make a tie-dye t-shirt. The things you'll need for this project are a blank t-shirt. We use ones that are 100% cotton because that helps the color stay in. Rubber gloves, rubber bands, some tie-dye. I'm just using what I had on hand, but if you buy a kit, you will likely get lots more colors. And I have some newspaper to cover my table with since I'm going to be doing this project inside. If you're also doing this project inside, I would recommend using some newspaper or plastic to cover your table. All right, let's get started. We're going to start with the Swirl, one of the most common tie-dye t-shirts. Looks like this. Or another example. It's kind of the traditional tie-dye t-shirt. To do this, you start with your 3 fingers, your thumb and your 2 first fingers, and you pinch the shirt wherever you want your tie-dye swirl to start. So I'm going to start mine kind of in the middle, a little bit towards the top, and I'm going to pinch and twist, and go again, pinch and twist. You keep repeating this process until your shirt is in basically a circle. You want to try and keep it neat if you want your lines to be crisp. All right, so now that I have basically a circle, I'm going to start with my rubber bands. I'm going to put one across the top and then one across the side to make a T or an X to get started. And hold it in place. Okay, so if you can see what I have to start, I've got my T or X of rubber bands. Now I'm going to continue with rubber bands until it basically looks like the spoke of a bicycle. Or a pizza if you're hungry. Break it up into lots of little slices. You want your rubber bands to be tight. So if your rubber band is big and loose, you might want to wrap it around the same spot 2 times or try to use small rubber bands. The reason for this is where the rubber bands go, that's where the bands of white will cross the color that you make. I like to add lots of rubber bands because I like the way it turns out. For this one, you just want to keep it going crisscross like a pizza or bicycle. And it will look like a tight little circle like this when the swirl is ready to be dyed. All right, I'm going to move on to our next tie. The next one we're going to make, I would call little bursts. It looks something like this. To make this one, we're going to make little blotches all over the shirt. To do this, we're going to grab the shirt wherever we want one of the bursts to be and pull it together. Hold it while you get your rubber band, and then you'll wrap that around basically just like a hair tie. You do want it tight so it doesn't fall off. And then we'll repeat that anywhere else on the shirt where we would want a burst. You can make these as big or small as you want them to be. The part that's in the middle there that I'm tying around, that part will be one color, and the parts around it will create that burst. So this piece will all be one color, so whichever size you want to make that is up to you. And you can keep going as much as you want to make these little bursts all over the shirt. Again, I just grabbed a big rubber band. Remember to make them tight. All right, and we will move on to our next tie. For this one, we will make stripes. There's more than one way to make stripes, and for this time we will make vertical stripes or up and down stripes. To start this, you should lay your shirt flat like all of the other beginning of the ties, and we'll fold our shirt forward and backwards like a paper fan. So we're gonna fold it over and then under, trying to keep it flat every time you fold, and then over and under, all the way until you reach the other side of your shirt. This will cause the vertical lines in your shirt everywhere there is a fold. Now, we'll take our rubber bands and put them on. The rubber bands for this one are pretty much just to secure it. The more rubber bands we put on this type of fold might make it look like we also have horizontal stripes. This is a great type of fold to do with just 1 or 2 colors. So we'll start putting our rubber bands on to hold it in place. Do you want to try and keep it folded? I'm going to put my next one kind of far down, like I mentioned before, so that I don't get too many stripes made by the rubber band. The rubber band is tight around the cloth, and that's why the color doesn't go there, and that's what makes those stripes. I'll do 1 or 2 more. Hold it in. And one last one, I think. And that is how you tie for vertical stripes. All right, let's make one more. Let's learn how to make horizontal stripes. All right, we'll start with our t-shirt laid out. This one is very much like the one that we just did, except for our stripes will go side to side or horizontal this time. So we'll start from the bottom up or from the top down, your choice. And we'll fold again, forward, and then fold that forward, fold under. If you know how to make a paper fan, you know how to do this, forward and backward or under, trying to keep it flat. Same thing, forward and under. All right, and now we have the same sort of thing with our nice flat folds, except for this time, they'll go this way. To keep it tight, we'll do the same thing as before and put rubber bands all down it. We want to remember to tie them tight to keep our folds. When our folds are tight, that is what makes our white lines bold, and that's the definition between the lines and the colors. Takes a little time to tie it nicely. I'm going a little quick. Okay, and if you can see, this is our collar of our shirt, so our stripes will be horizontal or side to side once we dye this one. Okay, let's move on to the dyeing part. All right, time for the most fun part. Time to do the actual tie-dye. I'm going to tie-dye my circle, or my swirl, I should say. I'm going to take the color, and you want to kind of let a lot of color sink in if you have a lot of color to use. And I'm going to start with the middle of mine and kind of poke it in there a little bit. Squeeze it to let the color come out and then let it sink in. There's really no wrong way to do this. You can put color all over it. You can do it organized. You can have a color scheme. You can do a rainbow or just go crazy. I'm going to do mine cool colors this time. you want your shirt to have a lot of color on it, you need to put a lot of color on it. You want to make sure it's saturated. You can probably see how some of the color is rolling off of mine. I like to kind of just dip it on there to get some more. And keep going until your shirt is as saturated as you would like. Do remember to do the other side. I'm not going to let you sit here while I do my whole thing. Now that it's finished, it's saturated to my liking, I'm going to put it in a plastic bag overnight. This will help the colors set in. Tomorrow, we'll take the rubber bands off and put it in a load of wash all by itself. Once it's washed and dried, it's finished. Ta-da! The end product. This one is the swirl. The swirl didn't quite make it into the center, but that's okay. Vertical stripes. And the bursts. I hope you enjoy this tie-dye tutorial. If you love summer camp like I do, please consider donating during the Giving Challenge. Be the one to support students coming to our Circus Summer Camp. Thanks for watching.